Legends, what's going on? My name is Robert Woods, and I'm just going to talk to you today about life after the military. How has it been for me? So I have been out of the military for about 4 years. Actually, no, 5 years. And it's been cool so far. I think I've had a lot of ups and downs, just like anybody would. Shoot, my bad. So I've had a lot of ups and downs in my career, just like anybody would. I'm in my office right now. I got my little my dry erase board fell down. But anyway, lots of ups and downs within the past few years. But to be real, I think the best thing that I think I could have ever done is go to school after I finished. School actually allowed me to just meet new people in the market. It allowed me to just really spend a few years getting my mind right and getting my head together around what I was going to do next from a professional perspective. And I also had the time to at least attempt to build a business. And I think there were some definite successful moments there, but I eventually transitioned from the recruiting space. But I mean, overall, I think if you did serve in the military and you qualify for 100% of the VA loan, I think you should use it. Also, if you qualify for 100% of the GI Bill, I think you should definitely use it. Personally, I got a few $100,000 of education paid for by the Air Force / Department of Defense, and I think it I don't know if it shows, but it definitely has helped. I'm about to go to brunch with my wife, so I'm about to go to brunch in just a moment. So probably got about 10 more minutes, but essentially, man, a few $100,000 from a value from the military is how I got my education. I think there's a few different thoughts or frames of reference when it comes to choosing your career path after you get out of the military. And I think one is, okay, let me go ahead and just get qualified to go to a school so that I can make sure that I get that GI Bill money in addition to the job that I'm working, or at least it can float me until I get to my job. I think that's a fantastic thought process, and it works for people. And then there's another thought around it where people want to maximize the benefit. So, for example, if I lived in Connecticut, I might go to one of those. I think there's an Ivy League school in Connecticut. But anyway, I went to Columbia. I went to Fordham as well in New York after I got out. Before I got out, I went to Howard. But I think it's really important to try to maximize the benefit by choosing to go to a school that's in the market in which you plan to work. Because if you do that, at least there will be some affinity around your school when it comes to recruiters taking a look at your resume. Also, when it comes to events or even information sessions that companies do at colleges, you'll have more access to those. And I will tell you this: after you transitioned out of the military, somebody told me this when I was going through this application process at Bank of America. He said, you need to make sure that you get into a career field that you want as soon as possible. And this was a veteran, by the way. He said, get out and do your thing at the company that you want as soon as possible, because if you don't, employers will look at you like an old dog. when you get out of school, or when you get out of the military, companies may be looking at you like a little like a puppy, something that they can mold and support into growing. But after that 3 4 that fifth year, you're pretty much I don't want to say not employable, but if you haven't nestled your way into a vertical that you can find comfort in, and that you're actually good, something that you're good at, it'll be tough to find a job, especially in finance. And so, especially if you want to try to apply for internships or transitional programs that are military related, companies will look at like the fact that you actually were out for a few years. Like, okay, well, why didn't he go to Bank of America, 5 years ago? Or why didn't he make it into Goldman Sachs three years ago? Why hasn't he been applying for the past 3 years? What's up with this guy? Oh, he's a job hopper. Oh, this person has bro, there's so many stories that recruiters come up with when it comes to trying to connect the dots with your career field. So if you don't have a resume that indicates that you have some that you're intentional and purposeful about building that resume, it's gonna show. And it's gonna be hard for recruiters to say, okay, this projection, this next step in their career makes sense for what they've been doing, because I can see they took some finance classes, or I can see they took some accounting classes. I can see that they went through a Wall Street program at their local university, or they went to an event or supported some company through a volunteer effort, and this is connected potentially to their intention around that, becoming a part of that vertical, or being a professional that's operating within that vertical. So I'm just speaking as a guy who got out as an E4 and transitioned, moved to New York, and man, I think I think life is, to me, compared to being an E4 in the Air Force, life is just a dream. Not because being an E4 sucks or anything like that, but I think, and I'll probably talk about this in later videos, but I think being in the military is limiting, or it can be limiting. Let's say you want to be an officer, but for whatever reason, the people that you're stationed at, the people at the base in which you're stationed, they don't like you for whatever reason. Maybe you did some things to politically to make them dislike you. Whatever, who knows and who cares? If you're not accepted by certain people that are above you, you will definitely have trouble growing. And even when you do grow, it's limiting. So in addition to that, you don't necessarily have the free will to stay or leave a city or state if it's not the best thing for you. So I mean, personally, I'm a person that was able to adapt where I was, but I enjoyed my experience for the most part. But I'm saying, if you get out and don't have a plan, that'll be a problem. But all you have to do is sit down for a few hours and put your plan together. Take a deep breath while you're staring at that plan after you write it, and imagine yourself being the person who's doing every single thing that's on that list. And I know that, of course, you can just write the list and do your thing, whatever. But I mean, when you sit down and just stare at it, meditate on it, think about the person that you're going to become while approaching those goals, while even starting activating those goals, going through the tribulations of each goal. It's going to make you have this beautiful perspective about everything that you're doing, because it personally, I mean, I have that like ceremonial I have that ceremonial thought when it comes to setting goals, especially long-term goals. You want to be able to look at your long-term goals and be proud of the goal, because that means that all you need to do now is execute. It's basically like drawing an outline, and now all you need to do is color. All you need to do is do what you're supposed to do. So if you're in the process of transitioning, it's like you want to be a dentist. Okay, cool. Go speak to the dentist on base. Go ask them for a recommendation based on whatever criteria they set for you, whatever. Go and watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos. Go to the local university that has a dental program and see what it's like. Talk to some of those students. Go on dental forums on Facebook. Talk to those people who have been dentists for a while. Ask them what are their, biggest things that they regret, or things that they wish they knew before they became a dentist. Do the research is what I'm saying, but the research doesn't have to be limited to a Google search. I think the best thing you could do when you're transitioning out is to focus on what you want to do after, and creating that plan so that once you hit the ground in your new location, you'll be able to make that transition in a seamless fashion, because you want to make sure that you can cover your bills. Like, let's just make sure for sure that we are getting out with at least the knowledge of what our VA disability percentage is. If you're not 100%, try to figure out what percentage you are, so you can gauge the kind of floor and ceiling that you'll have to attack once you, from a salary perspective, once you get to that location. I'd like to talk to you. I think in the next episode I'll talk a little bit more about how I made that transition, and being so laser focused on making sure that I had a couple $100,000 of value in education paid for by the military, and how I wanted that vision to serve the next steps. And I think those things that I did 6-7 years ago before I got out is helping me today. So I got out in 2016, so that's 8 years ago. But 1 to 2 years prior to that, I was basically doing a lot of the things that I'm talking to you about today. So you can see that I'm not 15 years old. I'm not 18. I'm in my 30s, and really excited and proud of what I've done in the military and beyond. But also, I'm proud of who I am becoming. And I think a lot of times it's really just important to make sure you have a plan, and make sure that you're tapping away on that plan, because that plan becomes your masterpiece, that becomes your life. So I'll catch you on the next one. Legends, I appreciate you for rocking with me. Peace.